Hello and welcome to a trailer analysis and breakdown of the new Monster Hunter World Final Fantasy XIV crossover Final Fantasy XIV event content trailer that came out today the 16th of July 2018 as part of Live Letter Part 45. So without further ado, let's break it down. So the first thing we see is the Square Enix logo fade into the trailer, and then we see a familiar shadow coming across the ocean. The next scene shows that shadowy figure atop the ships in Limsa Lominsa. We get a pan of Limsa Lominsa as the shadow itself progresses over the town, until the Stormblood Final Fantasy XIV Online logo fades into view, above the cityscape there. The next sequence is actually from the original trailer we've already seen, where the Warrior of Light meets up with a Palico, presumably in the attempt to warn him of the impending destruction from the RATHALOS monster. We then see some new footage of the RATHALOS' shadow flying over Coerthus, and then that of Girabanya, showing us the full extent of RATHALOS' reach. In the next scene we see the Palico talking to the Warrior of Light and two other characters atop a bridge in Kagane, before the next scene showing Rathalos flying over the Azim steppe, and then we get a nice close-up as the camera zooms around from a distance. We then get the text "Born on crimson wings he comes," followed shortly by the familiar Rathalos landing in the Azim steppe cutscene we've already seen in the previous trailer, where the Palico immediately looks worried as the Rathalos swoops down to attack some cattle. "The king of the skies," it says on screen, as then we fade back to the Rathalos eating his prey, and then simply Rathalos pops up on screen, before we finally see some footage from inside the fight, where the Warriors of Light are fighting against Rathalos in this arena in the new trial added in patch 4.36, coming on August 7th, 2018. The fight itself looks absolutely incredible in motion, but I chose to do a slideshow today to really capture some of the moments I like the most, especially where the Rathalos uses the fire breath attacks, and some of the things that we can point out here. Namely that we know from the translation of the Live Letter Part 45 earlier today that the fight itself is going to be limited to 10 healing potions, and that healing magic itself is prohibited on certain parts of the fight due to debuffs. You'll be able to use 10 potions, and as you can see here, the Warrior of Light is chugging a potion whilst someone else distracts the monster. They also confirmed in the live letter that this is actually untankable, and that you'll be able to queue into this trial as any role you like. It's not role specific, and therefore anyone can act as tank. We see here though a paladin standing off against a Rathalos, just surviving a fire breath in the previous frame. We then see an unfortunate dragoon being beaten, knocked back flying miles, before the Rathalos focuses gaze on him and lunges forward towards the character as he's confused with the chocobo swimming above his head to deliver a final KO. "Warriors of Light," it says on the screen, before we then see what appears to be the Warrior of Light mounting the Rathalos, similar to how you can in Monster Hunter World, and stabbing at him with a dagger, which is pretty damn awesome. Whether this will be an active time event or part of the fight's mechanic, we don't know at this point. "Heed the call," says the text, as we pan between the various fight mechanics. We then see the Rathalos fly upwards to ready one of his final attacks, before lunging forwards and setting fire to the character and indeed the screen, before the logo for Final Fantasy XIV and Monster Hunter World Cross pops up on screen. We then get to see the actual gear that we're getting from the Rathalos event. We're not getting weapons, but we are getting a male and female dyeable and non-dyeable version of Rathalos armor, and this is what it looks like. I really like this stuff. It's a shame we're not getting weapons, but I suppose it would be a lot of extra development time on top of what they've already put into what is already looking to be a promising normal and extreme trial. The hunt begins this summer, and indeed this event was confirmed to not actually end. This is going to be a permanent event addition to the game. It just simply begins in summer and doesn't end, which is really cool because there's actually mounts, minions. As you can see here, here's the Poogie minion. You can also get a Palico minion, and just as this Lalafell player is playing with her Poogie minion, Rathalos swoops down with the dragoon atop him, showing then that this is going to be a mount, presumably from the extreme mode as a low drop chance. The Lalafell here does a / pet emote on the Poogie, which causes him to jump up in joy, which is presumably the actual minion's reactions to emotes, which is pretty damn cool, before fading to white for the actual purchase screen of Final Fantasy XIV Complete Edition. This trailer was short, but it got to the point very quickly. I specifically like the mounting technique. It's going to be interesting to see if that's an active time event or if we actually get to do that, but getting on top of Rathalos and stabbing him is very Monster Hunter, and the whole thing is trying to be something different, which is always good for a formula like Final Fantasy XIV. Either way, thank you for watching, hopefully this was interesting, and I'll see you all next time. Be sure to check the description obviously for the official video if you want to watch it.